Hello flower friends and welcome back to the channel. If you've ever dreamed of having those picture-perfect velvety roses in your own garden, you've come to the right place. Today we're going deep into the world of roses, and I'm going to share all my secrets for growing the most beautiful, healthy, and fragrant blooms you've ever seen. It's easier than you think, I promise. So grab your gardening gloves and let's get started. First things first, let's talk about the absolute number one non-negotiable requirement for happy roses: sunlight. Roses are sun worshippers. They need at least 6 to 8 hours of direct sunlight every single day to truly thrive and produce those gorgeous flowers we all love. If you're thinking about where to plant a new rose bush, spend a day observing your garden. Find that spot that gets drenched in sun from morning until late afternoon. That's your prime real estate for roses. A little morning sun is especially great because it helps dry the dew off the leaves, which can prevent common fungal diseases. If your roses are looking a bit sad, with few flowers and long, spindly stems, a lack of sun is very often the culprit. Next up, let's get our hands dirty and talk about soil. Roses are heavy feeders and they love rich, well-draining soil. Think of it like serving them a gourmet meal. Before you even plant, it's a great idea to amend your soil with plenty of organic matter. Compost is your best friend here. It enriches the soil with nutrients, improves its structure, and helps it hold just the right amount of moisture without becoming waterlogged. You want the soil to be like a wrung-out sponge, moist but not soaking wet. When you're digging the hole for your new rose, make it about twice as wide as the root ball and just as deep. Mix a generous amount of compost into the soil you've dug out before you backfill it around the plant. This gives your rose a fantastic, nutrient-rich start in its new home. Now, let's talk about watering, which is where many people go wrong. The key is deep and infrequent watering rather than a light sprinkle every day. A light sprinkle only weights the top layer of soil, encouraging shallow roots that are vulnerable to heat and drought. We want to encourage the roots to grow deep down into the soil where it's cooler and moisture is more consistent. So, how do you do that? Give your roses a really good long soak at the base of the plant once or twice a week, depending on your climate and how hot it is. The best way to check if it's time to water is to stick your finger about 2 inches into the soil. If it feels dry at that depth, it's time to give them a drink. And always try to water in the morning at the soil level, avoiding the leaves. Wet leaves, especially overnight, are an open invitation for diseases like black spot and powdery mildew. Okay, our roses are planted in a sunny spot in beautiful soil, and we're watering them correctly. What's next? Food. As I mentioned, roses are hungry plants, especially during their blooming season. To keep them producing a continuous flush of stunning flowers, you need to feed them regularly. I like to start with a slow-release granular rose fertilizer in the early spring, right as new growth begins to appear. This gives them a steady supply of nutrients to kickstart their season. Then, throughout the growing season, from spring through late summer, I supplement with a liquid fertilizer like a fish emulsion or a balanced liquid feed every 2 to 4 weeks. Think of the granular fertilizer as their main course and the liquid feeds as healthy snacks in between. Always follow the package directions, and remember to water your plant well before and after fertilizing to avoid burning the roots. Stop fertilizing about 6 to 8 weeks before your first expected frost to allow the plant to prepare for winter dormancy. Now for the part that sometimes intimidates gardeners: pruning. But trust me, pruning is one of the most beneficial things you can do for your roses. It encourages new growth, improves air circulation to prevent disease, and helps you shape the plant. The main hard pruning is typically done in late winter or early spring, just as the leaf buds begin to swell. First, cut out any dead, damaged, or diseased canes. These are easy to spot as they usually brown or black instead of green. Next, remove any thin, weak canes or any that are crossing over and rubbing against each other. You want to create an open vase-like shape in the center of the plant. This allows sunlight and air to reach all parts of the bush. Aim to leave about 3 to 5 strong, healthy canes and shorten them by about 1/3 to 1/2 of their height, making your cut at a 45-degree angle about 1/4 inch above an outward-facing bud. This encourages the new growth to grow outwards, maintaining that open shape. Throughout the blooming season, there's another type of pruning called deadheading. This simply means removing the spent or faded flowers. When a rose finishes blooming, it starts to form a seed pod, called a rose hip. The plant puts a lot of energy into making these seeds. By cutting off the old flower, you trick the plant into producing more flowers instead of seeds. To deadhead, follow the stem down from the faded bloom to the first set of 5 leaves. Make your cut right above that 5-leaflet leaf. Not only does this keep your rose bush looking tidy, but it's the secret to getting waves and waves of blooms all season long. Finally, let's touch on pest and disease management. The best defense is a good offense. A healthy, well-fed, and properly watered rose in a sunny location is naturally much more resistant to problems. Regularly check your plants, looking at the tops and undersides of leaves. Common issues include aphids, which are small insects that cluster on new growth, and fungal diseases like black spot or powdery mildew. For aphids, a strong jet of water from the hose can often dislodge them. For more persistent issues, insecticidal soap or neem oil are great organic options. For fungal diseases, again, proper watering and good air circulation from pruning are your best preventative measures. If you do see signs of disease, remove the affected leaves immediately and dispose of them in the trash, not your compost pile, to prevent it from spreading. So there you have it, the complete guide to growing incredible roses. It all comes down to 6 key things: plenty of sun, rich soil, deep watering, regular feeding, smart pruning, and keeping a watchful eye. It might sound like a lot, but once you get into a rhythm, it becomes a truly rewarding and relaxing part of your gardening routine. There is nothing quite like walking into your garden and being greeted by the sight and scent of your own beautiful, thriving roses. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope these tips give you the confidence to grow the roses of your dreams. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss any of our future gardening adventures. What are your biggest rose care challenges? Let me know in the comments below. Happy gardening, and I'll see you in the next video.